Yeah, right, guys, what's up? It's Bulbs. Welcome to week 6 of the HDL season 2. Our opponents this week are the Munster Mudbray, coached by Vankieth, coached by Robbo. And this is a little bit like with Maui and Clockwork. This is a guy that I've got a lot of history with. I've been playing Pokemon for probably, what, 4 years, is it, mate? Yeah, this guy is incredible. I think I can't remember our exact overall record. I'm pretty sure he might have beaten me more times than I've beaten him, but it's close. There's probably like a one game swing in it somewhere. But I probably shouldn't say this out loud. The matches that I've won have been very lucky. The matches that he's won, he has just floored me. Like this guy, in the last season of the HDL a few months ago, he went the regular season with just one game lost and all the others were won. Yeah, like he didn't win the championship in the end, which was a genuine surprise to me and probably a lot of the other league. But this guy is the absolute real deal with one of the scariest drafts in the entire league. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. But before we get into the game, because it's the midway point of the regular season, there's 10 matches and we've played 5. I'm just going to go through a little bit of admin, just to sort of show you guys where we are at in the league, in the standings, in the table. So this is the entire league set up here. We got the 4 divisions. The one that we're looking at is the most important one, the Bulverhampton Wanderers. Obviously, we played the Rockford Roselies last week, the Binghamton Torrocats in week 1. So I've played both of our divisional rivals once. Obviously, I lost both those games, which are my 2 losses there. The Roselies have still got one more game to play, which, if they win that by a differential of 5 or 6, then they will jump us to the top spot. But if they don't, then we do retain the top spot, which I think is an amazing position to be in at the midpoint of the season, because yeah, like I've said it before, this is a really competitive league, really competitive division, and if I can, I'm hanging in there, right? If I can be top spot in this division at the midway point in the season, then I am feeling really quite confident about my chances going forwards. Something else to note here is the Munster Mudbray, today's opponents, 5 played, 5 won, a differential of plus 20, which is an average of at least a 4-0 victory in his matches so far, which is it's just astoundingly terrifying. Another thing that I do want to mention is I alluded to it last week. We made some trades. We finally made some trades. They are outlined here. We got rid of the Hippowdon. No, sorry, I should say we picked up the Hippowdon, dropped the Landorus. We picked up the Escavalier for the Sandaconda, and we picked up the Stoutland for the Primeape. Yeah, starting from the top, we got rid of the Landorus to bring in the Hippowdon. This was, I'd love to say it was some strategy, some tactic of mine. Quite genuinely, I wanted Hippowdon from the start. I didn't look too much into the document. I just assumed that he was going to be an A tier pick, and so when I got CLEFABLE and an Excadrill, I just assumed that I wouldn't be able to get Hippowdon, which is why I went for Sandaconda as my sand setter. It wasn't until I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago when someone brought it to my attention that, oh yeah, you could have drafted Hippowdon, and I was thinking, oh my god. So I wanted to make that trade for, I think it's for my week 3 battle. And then obviously all this stuff in my personal life just hit, and I didn't really have enough time or enough willpower to sort of really think through any of the trades that I was making. So I've stuck with Sandaconda, with little Cobra for this long, and he's done me well. He's been a real surprise for me. I've really enjoyed him, but now this is the real pick that we wanted to make. We've got Hippowdon. Obviously, it's a tier 2 pick, sorry, a B tier pick, I should say. So we've dropped the Landorus Incarnate. It was a really nice Pokemon to have in a sand team, but with the Excadrill there as well, I said it when I picked it up, right? Like, I was very rarely going to bring a Landorus over an Excadrill. It was just a nice backup option to have in case the situation suited better. But yeah, I've played 5 battles and I haven't even considered Landorus for selection, so that was quite an easy swap to make. That does, of course, open up a tier. I nearly said a tier 4 slot. That does, of course, open up a D tier pick because we're going to drop the Sandaconda because we don't need 2 Sandsetters. Escavalier is quite literally he's only being picked up for this battle against the Munster Mudbray because he counters one of the Mudbray's threats really well. So I've literally just picked this Pokemon up for one week. I'll probably drop it again at the end of this week. I don't know. I'll see how it weighs up against my other opponents. But yeah, this Escavalier is really just here for the Curum. Obviously, it resists both of Kyurem's stabs. It's got really good defense and it can hit back really offensively. So, yeah, that's why I've picked up Scavalier. I'm not too happy with my speed tiers at the moment, and with the Scavalier having a base speed of 20, it probably will go in a week or two, so I can pick up like a faster threat up or something like that. And then next up, we've got the Stoutland for the Primeape. Stoutland is Pokemon that I wanted straight from the off, from the draft. It was sniped from me in the later rounds of the draft. I wasn't too fussed, but it is a really nice Sand Rush Pokemon to have. But basically, an hour or two after I made these first two trades, I think it was Crafting, I believe, the coach who had the Stoutland just dropped the Stoutland for another reason. So I just saw the Stoutland free, and I was like, yeah, might as well just swap out the Primeape for the Stoutland. Primeape was a decent physical threat to have. Fighting Stab's always useful, but it was only really there to bulk out my speed tiers. Obviously, Stoutland with Sandrush can improve on those speed tiers, and it's a nice little option to have. Also, normal types are really nice to have to obviously resist from the ghost stabs in the league. So yeah, that's all the admin sorted, I do believe. So next up, I'm just going to show off the Munster Mudbray's team. They've got Mega Aerodactyl, Ferrothorn, Arcanine, Gardevoir, Pangoro, Gastrodon, Gengar, Wigglytuff, Kyurem, Alolan Raichu, and the Tentacruel. Now this is a bonkers terrifying team, right? I'm saying about my speed tiers how I'm not too happy with them. His speed tiers are absolutely dead on. He's got really fast threats, he's got slow walls, he's got amazingly spaced out Pokemon in the middle, so it's really impossible to speed creep this team. He's got the Arcanine Ferrothorn, is an amazing defensive combo. Throw in the Gastrodon in there as well for your Fire Water Grass. It's going to be really tough to break down. His two fairies I'm not too fussed about, the Gardevoir and the Wigglytuff. Obviously, both of them don't resist the poison stab from my dragon, so yeah, hopefully Naganadel can put in some kind of work in this battle. Stuff like the Alolan Raichu doesn't really worry me at all. If he brings it, I haven't prepped for it, so fair play to him. Because I know that he only really picked that up to counter the what's it called, the electric terrain that is present in his division. So I am not too fussed about that. Yeah, the Kyurem is the biggest threat on his team for me. The Mega Aerodactyl I can deal with. I've got an unaware CLEFABLE, so if he wants to set up his Dragon Dances, I can deal with that. Obviously, Hippowdon resists the Stone Edges, so I think I've got Mega Aerodactyl pretty much covered. Gengar, I've got a couple ideas for it. Obviously, I've got probably... I like to think I'm proving it as one of the premier special walls in the entire league in Mantine. I know Gengar gets electric coverage, but if he brings that, he's losing out on another move, and I can scout out for it. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, Kyurem is the one Pokemon that I didn't have any real answer to. Clefable can only do so much because it does get the Iron Head. Obviously, what's called the Hippowdon will take super effective damage. Vileplume takes super effective damage. Mantine, if this thing runs the freeze dry, takes super effective damage. So yeah, that was the main reason why I did bring in the Escavalier, and I've done a few of the calcs in Escavalier, unless it runs like a hidden power fire, which it could do. Yeah, the Escavalier I think is going to be a really good answer to it. So yeah, that's the Munster Mudbray team, and on that we're going to jump straight away into the team builder element of this video. So here we go. Here's Gerardo, the Escavalier. It's a really niche reference on that nickname. If you get it, kudos to you. I know you're probably not. Yeah, it's got the Assault Vest, Iron Head, Close Combat, Drill Run, and Knockoff. This thing can switch into any Kyurem. Special Kyurem, if it's like a Choice Specs or anything like that, can switch in obviously with the Assault Vest really well. It's got really high defenses, so even if it's a physical Kyurem, absolutely fine, no issue with that. Scare it out with the Iron Head or the Close Combat if he does want to bring in the Ferrothorn. Yeah, looking through his team, if I can just bring it up here. The Mega Aerodactyl, Gengar, Raichu, Tentacruel, Kyurem, Arcanine, Gardevoir, Pangoro, Wigglytuff, and Ferrothorn all take super effective damage from this set here. Until I read it out then, I didn't realise quite how much I'd covered for. The only thing that doesn't is the Gastrodon, but it doesn't really... I mean, I can knock off the leftovers, right? Like, I can at least annoy the Gastrodon, but if he's only got one switch into this thing, then I'm absolutely golden. But yeah, we've just gone full bulky with the 248 EVs in HP. We got Adamant 252 in attack. This thing is just going to hit anything really hard. It was almost tempting to go for a Swords Dance, but that speed is just not fun. yeah, got 4 EVs in the speed there. You might be wondering about that. It's just so I can naturally outspeed a Ferrothorn, so I can fire off that close combat. Yeah, this thing is just going to do a hell of a lot of damage. I don't want to say it's my win con because it's absolutely not, but it is going to be the thing that punches holes in his team quite early on, and also, as I've said many times, functions as a relatively decent Curum switch. Next up, we've got Tiny the Excadrill. This thing is probably going to be my win con. Weakness policy, Earthquake, Iron Head, Rapid Spin, Swords Dance. You might be wondering, what the hell? You've got Sand Rush, Rapid Spin, Swords Dance, Weakness policy. Like, how much more of a boost do you want? My answer to that is this is more than enough of a boost for me. Yeah, again, I'm just going to go through his team and we'll talk about which Pokemon can resist my 2 stabs there. Because Mega Aerodactyl takes super effective damage, as does the Gengar, Raichu, Tentacruel, Kyurem, Arcanine, Gardevoir, Wigglytuff, and yeah, that's it. So that's most of his team right there. Actually, he doesn't have any Pokemon that even resists the Earthquake and the Iron Head combo. This thing is going to be absolutely insane. The weakness policy is mainly there because I've calced it. A fully attack invested Arcanine does not OHKO with the Flare Blitz. So yeah, I'm just doing some editing. I've got absolutely no idea where I got that calc from. I must have pressed a couple of wrong buttons. Obviously, as you can see here, a non-attack invested Arcanine will OHKO with the Flare Blitz. I don't know where I got that stat from. I'm still going to keep the weakness policy on, just in case we can do some like non-stab super effective coverage kind of weakness policy boosts, or if we can do any kind of like body press Ferrothorn boosts or anything like that. But for this calc that I was on about in particular with the Flare Blitz from the Arcanine, no idea what I was talking about there. Sorry guys. So his Arcanine's probably going to be the switch because of the Intimidate. But even then, I'm assuming that I'm under the Sand Rush conditions as well. The Arcanine won't kill me. I'll get off my weakness policy, and then it's a sweep, right? The Rapid Spin is there obviously for hazard control, but also to function as a speed boost, just in case the Hippowdon doesn't get the sand up. Swords Dance is there as well, just in case there's a point in the battle when weakness policy doesn't seem like it's going to work, then I can do a Swords Dance on the switch, something like that. Yeah, they're really just there because I don't really need any other moves. I could go with the Brick Break to hit the Ferrothorn, but yeah, the Ferrothorn and the Pangoro, I should say. But if I do manage to get my attack boosted up, then yeah, the Earthquake Iron Head combo is going to be absolutely great. Also with the Ferrothorn, I believe it's probably going to run a body press kind of set to try and take on the Excadrill. So yeah, a body press does about 81 to 90% or something like that. Weakness policy pops again. So yeah, if I can get this thing in for free at any point, and if I can be at relatively full health, if not exactly full health, we're going to live a lot of super effective coverage, take the weakness policy boost, and yeah, hopefully get the Sand Rush sweep from there. I believe, like I know I say this every week, I always have one win con who I think is going to sweep, and I never quite play that way, but I'm going to say it again this week. This is absolutely my win con. Going off the Sand Rush, we've obviously got the Hippowdon here, the Hippowdon who's not going to have this nickname in any other battle, and I'm still severely doubting whether I should do this. My opponent's Irish, and Hippowdon is it's black and brown. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, it's a bit of a problematic nickname, but it's just one of those that you got to do it, right? You got to do it. Yeah, we've got the Smooth Rock Sandstream. This thing is obviously just there to really set up the sand for the Excadrill. It also functions as a really good defensive wall against especially things like the Aerodactyl. The Arcanine, I don't see it doing too much to me either. Maybe even the Pangoro, I haven't calced it. But if the Pangoro isn't banded, I imagine I live those hits and hit him back. Earthquake's obviously there for stab. We've got the Heavy Slam for the Mega Aerodactyl. Stealth Rocks, just because I'm learning from my game last week that Stealth Rocks, just bring them. Just always bring them, Luke. Don't be stupid. And Slack Off, obviously there for the reliable recovery. Yeah, this thing, it's his debut today. I will say his nickname in any other battle will be Hippowdon, because obviously I've got to keep up the Politoed references with my weather setters. But yeah, black and tan. Got the Mr. A up next, the Mantine. This thing, if black and tan is my physical wall, this is absolutely going to be the special wall. We know it functions really, really well as a special wall. Scald and Air Slash both stabs there because why not? Toxic and the Roost. It's tempting to run a Defog over one of those stabs, but we've got the heavy duty boots on this thing, so it doesn't worry you too much, and we've got the rapid spin on the Excadrill if needed. I was going to run the Mirror Coat on this set to deal with a Gengar, like a Thunderbolt from a Gengar doesn't KO, and I could just hit it straight back with a Mirror Coat. But yeah, I think Toxic is just going to be a little bit more important, especially considering that Gastrodon is probably going to be his switch-in. I'm almost tempted to bring a Protect on this set, as I've done in previous weeks, to try and scout out for the electric coverage, but yeah, I think that Toxic is a little bit more important. I might not need both stabs. Just looking through his team though, obviously I need to keep the Scald there because stuff like the Mega Aerodactyl is... I mean, to be fair, the Mega Aerodactyl is going to kill me anyway with a Stone Edge. Do you know what, actually? Looking through his... Do you know what, yeah. There you go, there's my thought process. We're going to stick Air Slash up there, we're going to stick Protect on there just so we can scout out for the electric type moves, because I do want to see if the Gengar's running it, and then yeah, like I say, Toxic there for the Gastrodon and Roost for reliable recovery. Yeah, not much more to say other than this is a special wall for me. Next up we've got Naganadel, the Naganadel, a Pokemon with absolutely amazing potential who's shown flashes of it, but ultimately hasn't really been living up to it. Probably aptly named with the Neves there. Yeah, I'm not going to be too clever with this one. Sometimes I try and bring, obviously, as you've seen, like a speed boosting berry and nasty plot, and try and make this thing like my proper dedicated Wincon. Not going to do that this week because I'm realizing that I don't play Naganadel well enough to do that. It's just going to be the Choice Specs Draco Meteor button. It is, yeah, this thing's just going to function as an early game wall breaker, just to try and really do big damage to him. Yeah, his only resists to the Draco Meteor are the Gardevoir, Wigglytuff, Ferrothorn, obviously Sludge Wave for the Fairies and Flamethrower for the Ferrothorn. It's going to require a little bit of guesswork to see what he's going to switch into, but if I can get the switch right, yeah, something's going to be O-code, right? Or at least take heavy damage. Beast Boost will raise the special attack, not that that really worries me too much, just because... yeah, this thing isn't going to be there for longevity, it's not going to be there for a sweep, it's literally just going to be there to punch a hole in his team and then leave. U-turn is obviously there just for some kind of switch initiative should I need it. This thing is EV'd with 168 EVs in speed and is timid-natured. That means that it outspeeds a timid Gengar, so anything unscarfed on his team other than obviously the Aerodactyl will be outsped. I believe, going off that, I don't think I actually said what my EVs were on the Excadrill. This outspeeds a timid Gardevoir, just in case you wanted to switch in and go for like a Focus Blast or something like that. I was almost tempted to not worry so much about wanting to outspeed the Gardevoir, just so I could go Adamant, but this thing's doing enough damage to his team as is. And yeah, it also means that under sand conditions, it outspeeds absolutely everything on his team, that being the Mega Aerodactyl and any Scarfers that he chooses to bring. So yeah, once you get the sand up, then this thing is doing absolute work. Next up, we've got the Clefable. Now, I've got two Clefable sets that I'm a little bit torn between, so I'm going to show you both of them now, and then obviously before the battle, I will show you which one I settle on. Now, this first one functions a little bit more of just like a generic wall. I believe between the Hippowdon and the Mantine we do have a really good wall synergy, but this just sort of fleshes out a little bit more, bulks it out a little bit more. Got the Moonblast for the sort of generic Fairy Stab. We've got the knockoff, which is primarily there for the Gengar. With the knockoff Kebiaberry combo, we can take on the Gengar one-on-one when at full health. It obviously also functions really well just as a utility move. I believe Arcanine's probably going to be switching to a Clefable, which because it obviously resists the Moonblast and the obvious Flamethrower. So if we can knock off the Heavy Duty Boots or Leftovers, whatever the Arcanine's running, that's going to be really useful. Flamethrower, obviously just there for the Ferrothorn, but I think it's really important to have. And the Soft Boiled is just there for reliable recovery. Unaware of a Magic Guard, just because I think since we're not bringing the Mega Banette, I do want to have some kind of a backup in case he does decide to set up on my face at some point in the battle. Although Magic Guard would be really nice, and also Heal Bell would be really nice. I believe this is probably the set that we're going to go for. Either that, or if I bring up my second Clefable here, which is a little bit more interesting. It's probably not as clever a move to go for something like this. It's a bit gimmicky, but I haven't really brought many exciting, wacky sets just yet, and I kind of want to go for the for the most creative set award at the end of the season. So this is what this is. Weakness policy, stored power, cosmic power, heal bell, soft boiled. This thing, if we can get a cosmic power up on a switch, then we can live a sludge wave from a Gengar at +1. We can also live the gyro ball from the Ferrothorn at +1. Get the weakness policy boost, and then we've suddenly got 6 stat boosts. Because we'll have 2 physical attack, 2 special attack from the weakness policy, 1 physical defense, 1 special defense from the cosmic power, which means that our stored power will then go to a base power of 140, I believe, if my maths is correct. If we can even get up like a second cosmic power, that suddenly goes up to 180. Like, this thing could suddenly start really punching a hole in his team, while also having the defensive bulk on the cosmic powers to start living hits. We've got the heal bell there. Obviously, in case he decides to toxic me, because we are going unaware just because I don't want him to sort of see this set as more of a passive set and start setting up in my face. So unaware heal bell is a really good bit of synergy there. Also, heal bell will just help out the team in general. Soft boiled, again, just there for the reliable recovery. Both of these fables, I should say, have got minus speed natures. It's just because I don't really care about the Pangoro outspeeding me, and this means that the gyro ball from the Ferrothorn is going to be doing less damage. Other than that, we've got the same EV spread, just sort of bulk out a few hits and live a few hits. Yeah, I will probably go for the first Clefable that I showed you just here, because this is a bit more of a, a conventional kind of set. But the other one really is tempting me. So before the battle, I will let you know which set I'm going for. So on that is the team builder element of this video sorted. I'm not playing my opponent for a couple days now, so I will cut to the battle. And next time you see me, I'll let you know which Clefable set I go for. Let you know of any of the changes that I make, and yeah, I'll see you then. Right, here we go. It's a couple days later, and I am finally ready for this battle. Just to clarify, the Clefable that I went with, I'm going to regret this. I am going for the Bonkers setup one. I actually decided to go for the Magic Guard over the Unaware, because I don't see him setting up on this set. And even if he does, we should have some Cosmic Powers up, so even if he does set up his own offensive stats, we should be able to combat it relatively well. I'm just doing that so that I can, if I'm a Magic Guard over Unaware, that means that I don't have to have the Heal Bell, which clears up the slot for Moonblast, which means that if he brings the Pangoro, this thing is not shut down by the Pangoro. I mean, I'm never going to know, am I? I'm never going to know. It also means that the Ferrothorn can't Leech Seed me, so if I do come up one-on-one with the Ferrothorn, even though we don't have super effective coverage against it, we can still set up on it. Because the gyro balls won't be doing much to me. So, anyway, enough rambling. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. He does not bring Pangoro, which is really annoying. That means that I didn't need to make that last minute change. Right, I'm actually going to do what I should have done. Should have done this before I started recording, is actually just get up my little notepad just so that I remember what this team is. So what doesn't he bring? He doesn't bring the Gengar, which is really nice. Obviously the Mega Aerodactyl speeds my entire team, but I mean, it's kind of annoying because that means that we didn't need to EV the drill the way it is, but yeah, understand we do outspeed his entire team with the Excadrill. What else doesn't he bring? No, Wigglytuff is relatively nice, but he does have the Gardevoir. He doesn't have anything for the Naganadel. We knew that in the team builder, but the Naganadel is definitely going to do work against him. 1 second, I might just need to very quickly post this in the Discord, get the Porygon bot, there we go, lovely doubly. Right, I've just been for a lovely old walk on the beach, I've been listening to some Bruce Springsteen, I've got my cup of tea with me, I'm trying to be in a very zen headspace. I want to try and enjoy this battle. I haven't really enjoyed the last few just because I've been really stressing over my own moves, so I just want to enjoy this a little bit more, and I can't wait to find out his reaction for that Hippowdon nickname that I'd just forgotten about. Who's my lead? Do we have a U-turn with you? No, we don't. I don't think you can get a U-turn. I do want to lead with a U-turner. Get myself a bit of initiative. I also kind of want to just lead off with Black and Tan, get my rocks up. Does Qwilfish learn defog? I've got a feeling it does. And I don't know why I think it does. I've just got a feeling it does. You're doing that thing where you're not actually telling me anything useful, so let's just go. Do you learn defog? No, you don't. What am I thinking of? I mean, Mega Aerodactyl probably learns defog, but he's not going to have it. He might not have any hazard removal on this team. So I'm just going to lead off with Black and Tan, I think. Get those up straight away. He can probably work around that, right? He can probably predict that that's going to be my lead. Does he really not have any? Because yeah, Qwilfish definitely doesn't learn defog, which is kind of surprising. I mean, the Mega Aerodactyl does, right? But are you gonna run? Yeah, of course you do. But are you gonna run defog on Mega Aerodactyl? Is that really something? Black and Tan. I can only apologise. Oof. I mean, he toxics me here. He definitely just goes for the toxic, right? Which I'm now thinking I probably should have brought the heal bell on CLEFABLE. Oh, especially since he doesn't have that Pangoro. Am I okay with this thing being toxic? Probably not. But who would my switch be? Like, I can't bring in Tiny just in case he does go for the Scald, even though that would unleash the weakness policy. Do I just do that straight away? Turn 1, go into Excadrill, get the weakness policy, hope Scald doesn't burn, get the double speed, and just... I can't believe I'm calking this already. I cannot believe that I'm calking this already. If you're physically defensive, surely... Oh, what am I doing? Did not mean to press that. Surely... I mean... Oh god, that's tempting. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get my rocks up. Don't be stupid. But oh, no, it's still so tempting. It's so tempting. There's not going to be many chances that I get to just bring in Excadrill straight away, right? Oh, I mean, even if he doesn't go for the Scald, if he goes for the Toxic, we can get up a Sword Stance on his Scald to activate the weakness policy, and that is just... No, don't do that turn 1, Luke. That's not very clever. Oh, he goes for the Toxic. That would have been perfect. Oh, oh, that would have been so good, because I would have got the Excadrill in for free. We could have gone for a Sword Stance on his Scald, and if he didn't get the burn, I've got a +4 Excadrill, and that just sweeps at that point. Oh, that would have been so good. Oh, I've really just let myself... I really let myself just not think that one properly. Anyway, we got the rocks up and you can't get rid of the rocks, so it's still good. We're still good. There's no point in going for any kind of earthquakes or anything. He's gonna go for a Scald. If he goes for a Scald, I think she is just the safe. She is the safe switch. I just want to see what he wants to do at this point. Yeah, he goes for the Scald. He gets the crit. Doesn't make any difference. He's just noticed Black and Tan. I kind of want to soft-boiled up here just to scout out what he's going to go into. Because he doesn't have the Gengar, so what would his answer be? If I get to, oh god, I didn't mean to press that. If I get to +1 with CLEFABLE, I'm feeling relatively comfortable about this matchup. It's just the fact that he's such a good battler that's got me on edge. Obviously, Gastrodon's doing nothing. What about like a even a choice banded Arcanine is... Yeah, he's actually doing quite a lot, to be fair. So maybe we should just soft-boiled up. The other thing that he goes into is the Ferrothorn, but he must know, like, obviously a lot of CLEFABLEs run Flamethrower. But if you do that and you got Gyro, You're doing nothing at +1/+1. I mean, you're doing nothing anyway. So I kind of want to just soft-boiled up, just scout out, and also obviously get myself back up to health. If you are, I mean, you could just bring out the Curum and start. I mean, you don't bring a Curum in on the CLEFABLE, do you? Aerodactyl maybe, just to put some offensive pressure on me. But if he goes into the Aerodactyl and we are +1/+1, then you are doing absolutely nothing to me. +1/+1 just seems to be the answer, right? Gardevoir. Okay, Tracy's Magic Guard, so I'm actually quite glad that I didn't go for the Unaware there. I want to know what he's going to do, though. I don't really know what Gardevoirs do. I've had a Gardevoir in a league before. I just never chose to bring it, so I don't know what they do. Like, if your choice specs and I'm +1/+1, you're not KOing, I can get free soft-boiled up. Oh, that's relatively annoying. That is relatively annoying, but it's good to know that you're not any kind of a choice spec set. We've got a 60 base power, stored power, which isn't the best. I think Moonblast is probably just the play. Just to see what you want to do, and I also kind of want to wear off the taunt turns. Oh, that's kind of annoying that he brings the taunt. It's kind of annoying that he brings the taunt. We've still got the Sandstorm up, which is going to be quite nice to start chipping away some damage at his team. Although looking at his team, only 3 of them actually take said damage between the Aerodactyl, Ferrothorn and Gastrodon. He is actually quite prepped for a Sand team. I'm still feeling relatively, like I say, mon to mon, like team sheet to team sheet, I think that I have the team to match his. He doesn't seem to have any kind of an answer to Excadrill, especially something that can set up with the weakness policy or the sword stance. I don't quite know what he predicted there. Maybe for me to go into the Excadrill. But I'm just gonna try and wear this thing down a little bit. We're at +1/+1, so we can live a lot of things. And if we can wear down the taunt, then we can get our soft boiled up again, which would be quite nice. Because what does he go for here? Probably goes for another taunt, right? So I just go for the Moonblast. Like, obviously I want to soft-boiled at this point, but... or does he preserve the Gardevoir? Oh, this is a bit of a early game, turn 7 mind game. Either he goes for the taunt on my soft-boiled, or he predicts my Moonblast and switches to preserve the Gardevoir. So if he switches, I want to go for the soft-boiled. If he doesn't switch, I want to go for the Moonblast. I want a soft-boiled. He's not. Oh, he goes for the taunt. Oh, okay. He won that little mind play. He won that little mind play. Mind play, mind game, whatever. Yeah, because now he's getting me down to quite a low range, and that doesn't KO. Oh, you thought that was going to KO. Okay, that really hasn't worked well for me. That really hasn't worked well for me. I really want to preserve this CLEFABLE because I can soft-boiled up on the Gastro, right? So if I do find myself one-on-one with the Gastro, I can get myself back up to health and get my stored powers up again. Cosmic powers, whatever. I'm going to do that a lot in this battle. I probably did a lot in the team builder, mixing up the words stored power and cosmic power, so that'll be fun. He's still going to be going for Psyshocks, which makes it very tempting to go into maybe a Hippowdon. I do want to preserve CLEFABLE at this point. I think that at 31% we can have shenanigans, maybe. I mean, it's only really the Gastrodon that we can... Oh, I feel like... Oh, I definitely choked this a little bit. I just thought that Moonblast was going to KO. That's what that was. If that Moonblast KO'd and I got my CLEFABLE in at 31%, I'm feeling good. But it's not to be. How long does Taunt last? These are things I should definitely know. So he's Taunt 1, 2, 3. So last 3 turns, you got 1, 2. So the Taunt's going to be over after this turn anyway. It's not really a consideration for me though. I've got to switch. I've got to switch. Something like Excadrill probably makes the most sense, because I don't think... I mean, let's just see if we can figure out what set you are, because we know that you're not choice specs, obviously. Your Psyshock was doing about 25... No, why was that doing... Why did it do 24.7 then? Oh, because it's special attack dropped. Okay, so it's doing about 25%, a little bit less. So, I mean, yeah, you've got like a little bit of special attack investment, I guess. Just something like that. Anyway, what was I going to do? I was then going to calc the Excadrill. I don't know. I can't bring in the Excadrill. It's my wing con, for God's sake. Don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, Mr. A, right? Mr. A just makes the most sense. And then we just schooled. Or Air Slash. Just looking through his team. Probably Toxic, actually. Let's go for the Toxic. He's not bringing in Ferro. He's not bringing in Ferro. If he brings in Ferro. He's not bringing in Ferro. We're going to go for the Toxic. We can either... Because this thing will get KO'd by the Toxic, or... Oh, wait, unless he taunts. But no, there's no way he taunts. There's no way he taunts. If he taunts at this point, then... I hate my life. If we can get a Toxic off on the Gastro, then I'm a happy boy. If he taunts at this point... Because he's probably sacking off the Gardevoir, right? So what's more important to him? Taunting or getting off the damage? Probably getting off the damage, because he wants to get me to the 40% range. That'd be really good for him. I just want to kill this Gardevoir. I'm still thinking about that. If I would have gone into Excadrill on that turn 1 Toxic and Swords Danced on the Scald, then I would have had a +4 Excadrill. And I probably would have swept, right? I shouldn't be doing this right now, it's not important. But yeah, I would have swept. Oh, that's so annoying. Because I outspeed everything under Sand, everything on his team. So he's got to hope that something on his team doesn't get automatically one-hit KO'd, and yeah, that would have been really nice. Okay, he does go for the Psyshock, and we don't miss the Toxic. Oh, it's Magic Guard! Oh my god! Magic Guard. I'm not even going to type that. Of course, Magic Guard. I'm really dumb. And now the Taunt. Oh god. Oh god. That's hilarious. That's actually kind of funny. That's actually kind of funny. I mean, I just want to kill this Gardevoir at this point. He's upsetting me. Oh, that's really bad. I'm a little bit too relaxed after that walk. Maybe I'm a little bit too relaxed. I will say, obviously, I recorded the Teambuilder a few days ago, and at that point, when I showed you the league standings, I was top of the league, and I said that unless the Rockwood Roselias won their game in hand by a differential of 5 or 6, then I'd remain top of the league. They won, I can't remember if it was 5 or 6, but either way, they are now top of the league. So, yeah, coming into the run-in this last half of the season, I've got, obviously, the Munster Mudbray now, who are undefeated. Next week, I've got the... I can't remember what team they are, coached by Ballistic, who are also undefeated. Can't remember who my week 8 opponent is, but then week 9 and 10 are my 2 divisional rivals again, Maui and Rosa. So it's going to be a really tough run-in, and these are the kind of games that I need to perform in. And at this point, I've had a chance to get a turn 1 Excadrill sweep that I've choked. I've tried to Toxic a Magic Guarded Gardevoir, and I've lost a couple of mine games on taunts. So it's not looking too great for me at the moment. I don't think, not to blow my own trumpet, I don't think I've ever had a draft league that I've been in over the years that I haven't made the playoffs for. And I am kind of nervous that this might be the first season that I do that. It's definitely the most competitive standard of opponent that I've been in a league with. So I wouldn't I don't want to say I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be too surprised if I didn't make the playoffs, and honestly, I wouldn't be too. I wouldn't be too tilted by it, just because I acknowledge that a lot of the opponents in in this league are a much better quality of battler than I am. I like to think that I do have. I'm quite good at drafting, I think. I think that if you look at my team from this season, and probably also my team from last season, I think that I was up there in terms of the draft. I think I'm really good at filling holes, sorting out team synergies and stuff. I think finding little hidden gems like this Mantine that is now sitting at 16% and taunted. But I think finding little gems like that, I'm really good at. So, yeah, I think that I do have some strong points. I think that my big weakness is the fact that I just overthink. I either overthink plays or I don't think enough, and I choke it on misplays, just a little bit. I think that's something that I really need to work on, is just try and focus a little bit more. And it's kind of what I tried to do today. Is I went for a big old walk. I tried to get myself into a good mindset, so that I wouldn't be like being all really nervous and stuff, which I have been in other battles. And I'm feeling a lot less nervous, so it's worked. But it's almost got me a little bit too relaxed at this point. I just can't seem to find that midpoint, which I guess you could say for a lot of things in my life. But that's a good cup of tea as well. The secret is soy milk. Soy milk over dairy milk. I've heard that oat milk's meant to be good, but who knows. Anyway, Curum comes in. Right, obviously the Mantine is not very useful at 16%. I kind of want to keep it around just to stop the Gastrodon scalding. Because if the Gastrodon does go for a scald, the water absorb is going to be really, really useful on that point. But looking at his team, like assuming that Curum is physical, which I don't know if that's a fair assumption to make. I don't really battle Curum that much. But obviously Arcanine probably physical, Ferrothorn physical, Dactyl physical. Like the Mantine was mainly there for stuff like the Gengar, which he hasn't brought. And obviously the God of War's dead now. He's going through the rest of his team, stuff like the maybe throw the Wigglytuff in there as well. Like this thing does not deal with physical threats, and if the rest of his team is physical, I'm kind of tempted to sack it off. I mean, although saying that, Escavalier is like that's the reason that Escavalier is here, right? That's the reason that Escavalier is here. So don't sack off things that you don't need to sack off just yet. I can save that for if I need to get free switch into something else. Just sack the Mantine off. So yeah, you got the freeze dry, and at this point, the close combat is probably the most tempting. I have to Gerardo up against the Curum, because he's now realised, because I know that he even put a message in the chat earlier, he uses calcs nearly, not quite nearly as much as I do, so he's going to know that we're Assault Vest, for sure. Freeze Dry did 12.2, which tells me that you're not Specs. Probably going to be Scarf just to match the Naganadel. I think that makes the most sense for him. Although maybe not Modest, maybe Timid Scarf. Yeah, that lines up. So you're timid. I mean, at this point you're at 76%. We can kill with the Iron Head or the close combat, and the close combat is probably the more tempting play because your switch is probably going to be Ferrothorn or Arcanine. So I'm not gonna overthink that. I don't think. I think we're just gonna go straight away for the close combat. I mean, I say I'm not gonna overthink, and then I'm gonna cancel the move slot. Aerodactyl is not your play because Iron Head is what you think I'm gonna go for. I mean, Gastro could be the play. Gastro is the only thing on his entire 11-mon roster that can actually switch into this thing. So a knockoff would probably be quite nice. The close combat still does decent damage though. Still puts pressure on him. The knockoff is... What about the Arcanine? Because I do want to find out if this thing is Intimidate or not. I'm going to go for the knockoff, actually. I'm going to go for the knockoff. Okay, he goes into the Ferrothorn. Close combat would have been nice there, but we can get rid of his lefties. That's not too bad. Could we just go for a close combat? I mean, not really. Oh, that would have been really nice if we could. I mean, it's tempting to go into the tiny, just so we can do any rapid spinning that needs to happen. Other things that we could do, we could go into the Nagnadel, just really scare out with the flamethrower and then go for the U-turn. Thinking about it, that is probably my play, or we can do what I was saying that I wanted to do and just sack off the Mantine on this play, get a free switch into something. Or roost up on the Ferro if it does want to go for the hazards. That's probably what we do, right? It's kind of annoying that I went for the minus speed nature on the CLEFABLE, because to outspeed this thing and go for a nice soft-boiled would have been nice. Hi, it's me, it's Bulbs doing the edit. Obviously, a CLEFABLE still outspeeds a Ferrothorn at minus speed nature. What I was confusing that with was the fact that I'd done the minus speed nature on the CLEFABLE with Ferrothorn in mind, and that meant that I was then not outspeeding the Pangoro, and I just combined those two facts and somehow managed to convince myself that I was not going to outspeed the Ferrothorn. Stupid. Anyway, it really would have. I mean, what is your gyro ball doing? Let's just call you like, I mean, all we want is just a minus speed. What's plus defense minus speed? What would that be? I really know my natures, guys. I really know my natures. Where is it? Plus defense? What the hell is a plus defense minus speed? Why am I struggling so much to find this? Okay, let's call you plus special defense. Oh, there we go. Plus defense minus speed. Jesus. Anyway, right, I just did that so I can get a accurate gyro ball, if that's the move he's gone for. Because what are you doing against CLEFABLE with that? It is just about KOing. Okay, I mean, I've got to keep this thing around because he's already proven his worth switching into the Curum like that. I'm going to go for Mr. A, and we're just going to roost up. If it wants to KO me, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine because Mantine at this point isn't very useful. He was only really there for the Gengar, and the Gengar is not here. So Mantine I don't care about. Right, okay, you go get your rocks up, that's absolutely fine, because we can just roost up. He's probably putting up those rocks thinking that he's killed the Mantine on entry, so it's nice to stop that at least. And yeah, we're just going to roost on up. You can do what you want to me, really. Might go for the knockoff himself, get rid of my HDB, but if he wants to do that, then... Like I say, this Mantine isn't important to me at this point, so I like to keep it alive for longevity, just so I can... you know, maybe he'll spring up a use at some point later in the battle, but if he wants to do much to me, then I'm not too fussed. It would have been really nice to run Protect on this thing. I'm going to stay in at this point. I am going to stay in, I think. Because I've got a feeling that he might not go for the Freeze Dry. He might go for some kind of super effective coverage against the Escavalier, because he's now realising that Escavalier does provide quite a threat. So what kind of things could you go for? I mean, saying that, you've got you actually get nothing. You actually get nothing. So he's going to get water, so we can actually think through this turn just a little bit more with a bit less pressure. I do want to get rid of those rocks, because Gerardo is taking 12.5% each switch in. It's really nice to wear this thing down, though. I'm amazed that he didn't bring any kind of hazard removal. Just looking through his team. I mean, Tentacruel. Tentacruel for me is one of the best rapid spinners you can get. Sorry about that. To be fair, looking through the rest of his team, he says only hazard remover. I should have brought like T-spikes or something. Oh, I really should have thought more about that. Yeah, that would have been really nice. He's back. Okay, brilliant. We've got to think about that for like a minute. Right. What are we doing to you with like an air slash? That's what I want to know, because I don't think that this guy, who we know is timid and he's not holding an offensive item, up against, what did I just say your name was? Mantine. To be fair, freeze dry, I mean, it does KO, only just so. Jesus, I love Mantine. Yeah, he's going for the freeze dry, but I don't care about losing this thing. Or he goes for the roost. That suits me. I think that suits me. I just want to toxic this thing. I want to toxic this thing. It would have been nice to get a free switch into the Escavalier, but I want it to be. Is this thing a... I'm trying to figure out what set this might be. It's also nice to know he's not scarfed. It's really nice to know he's not scarfed. And you are now toxic. And Gerardo is probably the switch. Or we just let this thing die. I've been on about it for a while. I want to let this thing die. I want this thing to die. I don't care about this thing. Don't care about this thing. I'm going to regret that. I know there's going to be we're going to hit turn 40 and I'm going to be like, shit, I really want a Mantine right now. But yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I don't know what item you are. That's what worries me. Because you might be some kind of a berry. I don't like berries. Berries upset me. I mean, what are you doing to shear? With that freeze dry. With that freeze dry, oh god, is this the chance to get shear back up to some kind of health? We're at 30.3. Well, they're saying that the freeze dry did more to Mantine than I expected it would. Is that... no, it's not. Okay. Okay. I mean, you could run the Iron Head, right? Are you running the Iron Head? I wish I knew more about your set. Oh, I've got people messaging me. Absolutely not important. Right, because if you've got the Iron Head, I don't even need to calc that. Obviously, you do kill me. And you're probably going to run the Iron Head for the CLEFABLE, right? It would be nice just to go into Naganavez here. We can get a Draco off. Nothing really wants to switch into the Draco, I want to say. Not a choice specs one. What are you doing? We're doing 38 to 46%. We can put in a chunk of damage, and then I'm going to... because we know that this thing isn't choiced. So we're going to go into the Nagnavez, and let's see how badly we can misplay with Nagnaveza this week. Sludge Wave is useless against this team, now that the Fairy's gone. I mean, Flamethrower is the obvious move for the Pharaoh. I mean, what are we doing to the Curum with a Flamethrower? Not enough. Nowhere near enough. I'm going to drop that Draco. He's got the berry, and it still kills. Oh, thank God. I knew there was going to be a berry. I knew there was going to be a berry. Oh. I'm mildly annoyed because, like I say, if it didn't have Ironhead, that was the Pokemon to heal up CLEFABLE on. But choice specs cancelled out the berry, pretty much. Like, that's kind of how maths works, I guess. And, yeah. From that, he probably does know that we are choice specs. Right. Because that did 82%. Yeah, it wasn't a roll, which is nice. But if we weren't choice specs, then it would have done that much. So from that, from the calcs, he knows that we are choice specs. So he can switch into something. But even at -1 special attack, he doesn't probably want to switch too much in. It's like an Arcanine. I mean, Jesus. We can KO the Arcanine after rocks. If it's got no special defense investment or HP. So, like, the Ferrothorn's got to be his switch. Ferrothorn has got to be his switch. It's the only thing that wants to do anything. The Aerodactyl. I mean, I kind of want to stay in case he goes for the Dragon Dance. If he goes for the Dragon Dance... then I cannot let him get a Dragon Dance up. So we just go for a Draco. I cannot let him go for the Dragon Dance. I mean, I don't want to think... That's the thing about Naganadel, is that you can't get a longevity out. You can't get longevity out of it. You can't get a sweep out of it. I think I'm beginning to learn that I just need to bring something like a spec set every week and just let it kill something, let it die. I can't switch out at this point. If he goes for the Dragon Dance, then he outspeeds my Excadrill under Sand and he wins. So, I mean, what is a +1 Aero doing to Black and Tan? I mean, I am looking at that and I'm like, maybe I should. I am looking at that and going, maybe I should. Maybe I should switch out. We got the Heavy Slam. Doubt he's going to expect that. But the thing is, after the switch and toxic damage and him going first again on the next turn, we've taken about 60+% damage just to get off one Heavy Slam. We're not going to be able to take that thing one-on-one with Hippowdon. So I'm going to go for the Draco. I've got to go for the Draco. I completely acknowledge, right, here's my disclaimer. I completely acknowledge that he's going for the Earthquake, right? Because I don't need to calc this, but I am. Yeah, or the Stone Edge. I completely acknowledge that 95% of the time he's KOing me. But firstly, looking at his team, Naganavez probably isn't too essential at this point. It was there, like I said in the team builder, to punch a hole in his team, and it's done that. So I'm relatively happy to let this thing die. Go for the Dragon Dance. Yes! Come on, hit. Hit and kill. Hit and kill. Yes! Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Okay, okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, was that a roll? Did 76%. Naganavez -1. Not -1 attack. -1 special attack. I do need to know if that was a roll. It was a roll. I just want to. I don't know why I want to know this, but I do want to know this. The Draco Meteor, 75% chance. So it was a roll, but it was in my favour. So I'm not going to feel too bad about that one. I think the balls, having the balls to stay in on something that so clearly OKOs me, having the balls to stay in on that and hitting a -1 Draco Meteor, I think I deserve that KO just for that alone. Yeah, Naganavez is doing something. It's doing something. So at this point, Excadrill. I want to know if the Arcanines intimidate or not. That's what I want to know. So I was going to say at this point, Excadrill might sweep if we can get the sand up. Because what do we need to get up to, Excadrill, to KO a Gastrodon, which I don't think we've got any damage calcs for yet. I mean, even if you get a +2, it's not going to be enough. So we've got to hope that he scalds and doesn't burn. An Earth Power would be beautiful. Probably should have kept Mantine around just to dissuade him from going for the scalds. Yeah, obviously I'm 5-3 up at the moment, but I'm in absolutely no way am I in any kind of winning position just yet. Because Naganavez probably dies at this point, unless I do opt to switch it out. There's no one move that I want to be able to switch myself into. I'd be able to lock myself into with the Ferrothorn and the Arcanine around. Because these three Pokemon, obviously he's got his Fire, Water, Grass core left, so there's nothing that I can. There's no one move that I can lock myself into. He goes out into the Gastrodon. I mean, at this point, Gerardo's probably used up his worth. The Fairy's gone, and the Ice type Kyurem's gone. I mean, and the Rock type. The 3 Pokemon that this thing is super effective against with Stab have gone. So I kind of want to just sack this thing off. I think Naganavez is probably worth keeping around. Because, yeah, the Draco Meteor deals heavy damage to Gastro. It will not KO the Ferrothorn, but I mean, it's nice to just punch holes in teams. So I think I am going to keep the Naganadel around. If I can get Sheer in for free, because Gastrodon is the one that I said, right? Gastrodon is the one that I said that we can. I mean, his Earthquake is a roll to kill, but it's the one that we can potentially soft boiled up on. At this point, CLEFABLE might win it for me, but it's a roll as to whether I can get a safe soft-boiled up. But to get it in for free, I have to let something die, and I think that thing is going to be Gerardo. So we're gonna bring in Gerardo. If he wants to go for the Earth Power, that's fine. It's nice to see he's got the Earth Power over the Earthquake, which means that CLEFABLE can definitely heal up on this thing. What do we want to do? The thing is, obviously, I've got no real offensive presence up against this Gastrodon, so he can begin to play around me. But we've got the Drill One for the Arcanine, we've got the Close Combat for the Ferrothorn, so he doesn't have like particularly safe switches. I kind of want to just go for the knockoff. Because we still don't know if this thing's physically defensive, specially defensive. We don't know anything about it. Close Combat would be nice just to get damage off on something. On that, actually, I want the Gastrodon to stay in and kill me. That's what I really want. I want the Gastrodon to stay in and kill me. That's nice damage. That's nice damage. Does it tell me anything about what set you are? It did 40%, so you're not physically defensive. So you're especially defensive, right? Yeah, you're specially defensive, which means that Naganadel does a lot less damage to you. But actually, to fair this range, unless you recover up, then we're good. Toxical Earth Power. Your last move is definitely going to be the recover. But anyway, we've got Gerardo in. I mean, Close Combat for damage, I guess. I want to make sure that I do get CLEFABLE in for free. So hopefully, with these lower defenses, he's going to be tempted to go for that Earth Power. I want him to KO me at this point. I had this point in, I can't remember if it was the last game or the game before, but I have had this point in a match before where I want him to KO me. Yeah, we'll just keep going for this. I don't want him to switch out into something else. I want him to KO me because I want to get that CLEFABLE in for free. Stop going for those recovers. Just take me out, man. Take me out. He can actually stall out my Close Combat. Right, at this point, do I do it? Are you recovering? If he doesn't recover here, I swear to God, if he doesn't recover here, okay, he does. All right, well at this point we can soft-boiled up. Just gotta hope he doesn't get any special D drops with the Earth Power. That would really mess with me. But I'm relatively certain we can get a safe soft-boiled up at this point. The Ferrothorn would be the ideal switch, because if he wants to get a Gyro Ball off on me, I don't think the weakness policy is going to activate in this battle. I don't think it is. I don't see the Arcanine running any kind of super effective coverage, and we know that the Gastrodon hasn't got it. So Ferrothorn is our only chance for the weakness policy. He goes out into the Arcanine, and it is Intimidate. Really important to note. Well, I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, your Flare Blitz is doing too much. I really need this +1. Because if I get up to +1, then you're KOing me the next turn. Okay, well, it's nice to get this thing back up to health. At this point, do we knock out... I mean, he's Heavy Duty Boots. That's definitely important to note. Definitely nearly forgot to note that. I mean, at this point... Oh, actually, something else that we can note is the fact that because the Gastrodon is there a specially defense? That'll be the one, right? Yeah, because the Gastrodon is looking like this. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Okay, so... Sack off Gerardo, bring in Hippowdon. That's the play. Sack off Gerardo, you go for your Flare Blitz. That's absolutely fine. We bring in this. We've got 8 turns of sand. Right, 8 turns of sand. I think we just go for the Earthquake, try and get damage off. I want him to... I mean, if we can keep the sand up, then Excadrill, I'm relatively certain, does win. Earthquake does a lot of damage there. That's lovely. I mean, we can also stall out his recovers, which is going to be really nice. We can also bring in the CLEFABLE. Because what was Arcanine? I mean, oh, actually, we can. Actually, no, we can't. We can't calc anything. Okay, right. Right. So, what did we say that Arcanine is doing to CLEFABLE? You're doing that much. If we can get up, then you're doing that much. So what does Gastrodon do to CLEFABLE? It does about 20%. That'll take us down to 60%. If we can get up to +1 on the switch, so we're going to be at about 60% after the Scald. If we can get up to +1 on the switch, then your Flare Blitz is not killing. So I think we just go back into CLEFABLE. Do we though? Basically, I've got two Wincons here. I've got Excadrill and I've got CLEFABLE, which is a really nice position to be in. The only thing is that the Sandil obviously isn't going to be here forever, so I should probably be prioritising the Excadrill sweep at this point. I mean, if he goes for the Scald and doesn't burn, then Excadrill just wins the day. If he goes for the Scald and he does burn, so then it's like a 30% chance that I lose and a 70% chance that I win, right? Because how much damage are you doing to me? You're not that one. We've decided you're that one. Because you're going for the Scald now. I mean, if you go for the Recover, that's even better because we can get the Swords Dance up. You're doing 72.1%, and then we just sweep at that point. So I think we go for this and hope that you go for the Scald and don't burn. You go for the Recover, which is honestly even better because now we can Swords Dance. Now we can Swords Dance, and we'll be at +2, and then we sweep, right? Please. Even if he burns, we're at +2. If he doesn't burn, we're at +4. But I'm pretty certain we just sweep even at +2. I mean, the Ferrothorn might be a bit of a pain, but it's really nice to have another Wincon in CLEFABLE in the back. And we've also got Naganadel just to punch a hole if we do need a final hole punching, because it, yeah, Naganadel outspeeds everything on his team at this point. So, unless I've messed up with my calcs, Scald isn't KOing, so Swords Dance is definitely the play. And then we'll be at at the very least, we'll be at +2, and we'll be KOing you. Obviously be KOing you, and it'll be a roll on you. Swords Dance, you got the Earth Power. Oh, the Earth Power! Why did that do more damage? Why did that do that much damage? Why did that do that much damage? Oh, why did that do that much damage? You have got offensive investment. Oh, that one. That one did hurt. That one really did hurt. But we've still got CLEFABLE. So why did that do that much? You've got offensive investment in this Gastrodon, which is not what anyone wants. Right. So we're at +1/+1. Your Earth Power is yeah. You've definitely got offensive investment. Can we figure out how much? Wait, are you like? I mean, you're not that much, are you? Not attack, you banana. Did 18.3%. You're fully specially. Are you like? I'm very confused by this set, and I can't remember. I can't be asked to go into anything else about it. I think we just soft boiled up at this point, or do we go +2? I'm a little bit tilted by that. By that extra. I don't think I misplayed, because I don't think that anyone would have expected offensive investment in the Gastrodon, so I don't think I misplayed on it. So it wasn't like a bad play on my. It was one of those where it wasn't a bad play on my part. It was a good prep on my opponent's part. So it's all credit to my opponent, but no disservice to myself. That's what I'm going to go with. Anyway, if we can get up to +2/+2, and remain above 30%, which we absolutely will do, then we do that. You go into the Ferrothorn. Right, we soft-boiled up here. If you go for the gyro ball, I'm the happiest man in the world. If you go for the gyro ball, I am the happiest man in the world. Barring any crits, of course. If he crits me at this point, then he wins, which no one wants. He's got a Thunder Wave, which is never nice. And also, we outspeed. Of course we outspeed. It was the Pangoro I was thinking of, not the Ferrothorn. Wait, have I been... Oh no, I've been saying this entire battle that the Ferrothorn outspeeds me, which of course it doesn't. I was thinking about the Pangoro this entire time. That's hilarious. Anyway, I still want you to go for the gyro ball on me. There's no way that he predicts a weakness policy, CLEFABLE. There's no way he predicts that. What are we doing at +2/+2? Stored power is still doing nothing. I mean, we can stall this thing out. I mean, if it manages to get off the weakness policy, then stored power is doing a bit more. Up until he activates my weakness policy, I think we just go for the cosmics, right? He goes for the knockoff. Oh, that's not nice. Okay. Okay. I think he can probably game manage his way to a win, but it's going to be difficult for any of us, right? I mean, the Moonblast is still doing more than the cosmic power. I don't think there's any point in trying to get up to like +6/+6. Because at what point do we need to get up to where stored power is doing significantly more than Moonblast? I mean, even then, +4/+4. Maybe one more. Maybe one more, right? You don't have the gyro ball. Okay, so I don't feel bad about losing the weakness policy at least. And even if he crits me, I'm not particularly concerned. Right. Oh, that's 2 paralysis in a row. I mean, I'd rather get paralyzed than get the crit at this point, so I'm not going to be too mad. Anyway, we're at +5/+5. This is a disgusting CLEFABLE set. I'm so happy. Imagine if I did bring the flamethrower. Not that I would have really needed it. Anyway, I hope he doesn't have any tricks up his sleeve to deal with this, and that's why he's just letting me set up on him. I really hope that's not the case. I mean, if he crits me with the Arcanine, then he KOs me anyway, so I don't need to worry about being up at health. I've just got to play this. I've got to play this assuming that he doesn't crit, alright? So is there any point? What's the difference? I'm doing 22% with that, and I'm doing 26% with that. Is there any point in getting greedy? I'm saying getting greedy, look at my fucking defenses. If I'm doing about 20% each turn, that's going to take it to like 48. It's going to be like 4 turns until it dies. If I'm doing 26%, then it's going to be 3 turns until it dies. So it's still worth going for. Then we're going to go for the soft boiled, just to get back up to health, just in case. Just in case. Oh, these paralyses. Oh, if he had the gyro ball instead of the thunder wave, I'm the happiest man in the world. Anyway, stored powers, let's go. Base, did you see that? Base 260 power. Jesus wept. No, my chip. Right. Cool, brilliant. I mean, barring crits, obviously I've won. That is a cold cup of tea. Barring crits, I win. Barring crits, I win. It's nice to get rid of the Ferro, actually, just because the Choice Specs Naganadel can do something in the back. Hippowdon takes on the Arcanine 1-on-1, and Naganadel takes on the Gastrodon, maybe. Anyway, I mean, stored power, right? Just hope for no crits. Hope for no crits. Oh, thank God. Hope for no paralysis. Oh, thank God. Jesus! I'm not gonna tell him crits can happen, but he said GG and I don't want him to say GG yet. I don't want, it's not game. It's not game yet. It's not game. There we go. Okay. Right, here we go. Just don't, I'm not happy until the fat lady sings. I'm not happy until it says that I've won the game. I'm not happy until it says that I've won the game. I'm not happy, oh for God's sake. I'm going to soft-boiled. Crits terrify me. I'm going to soft-boiled. I know that he thinks that I'm just being a dickhead and prolonging the battle, but I'm terrified about crits, right? I mean, he can... Would he? No, he wouldn't. I was going to say he can recover stall me, but okay. GG, my dude. Oh my god. Right, first thought, I've beaten him, which, as I've said probably many times in this video now, this guy is an amazing battler, and he's beaten me so many times recently, and he's a much better battler than I am, so the fact that I've got this win feels amazing, right? It's really annoying that I couldn't do more with Excadrill. I was really looking forward to Swords Dance Weakness policy. If I would have done that turn 1, I genuinely think that I would have swept, and looking at his team makeup, he didn't have anything to stop that. So that would have been hilarious. Other thoughts. What other thoughts have I got? Yeah, it's a bit annoying that obviously Excadrill died to the Earth Power at the end. Probably should have maybe calced for fully specially attacking Gastrodon, but it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I got a little bit lucky at the end just by not being crit, I guess. I can't believe I brought 2 weakness policy mons and neither of the weakness policies got kicked, got activated. But anyway, I'm not going to ramble at this point. This was a match that I really, really needed to win because, like I say, it's a really tough run in that I've got this second half of the season. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for the amazing game as always, Robin. And yeah, I'll see you next week.